Imagine a hallway with 3 separate rooms. Inside each room, a person is part of a secret experiment led by the world's most skilled neuroscientist. This neuroscientist works for an intelligence agency studying consciousness, perception, and intelligence to develop new insights and technologies related to the mind. In each room, brains are conducting experiments on brains, testing thought itself. We start at the first room. The door is locked. Inside is a man named John. He is isolated, allowed no visitors, and receives food and water through a contactless system. Recently, a lab worker was told to slip notes under his door, though she wasn't told who John is or why. One morning, John finds a note in his room. Curious and hopeful, he opens it, only to find it's written in Chinese, a language he doesn't know. However, John soon notices boxes of papers, pencils, erasers, and books containing detailed instructions on how to respond in Chinese. Using these books, John can match the symbols the woman writes and reply with the correct corresponding symbols, enabling a conversation. At first confused, John, craving social interaction, begins responding according to the book's instructions. Over time, the woman grows fond of John, thinking she's talking to a charismatic man fluent in Chinese. Yet John doesn't understand the language at all. This is the Chinese room experiment, which asks, what does it mean to be intelligent? With the rise of digital computing and artificial intelligence, the question of whether a machine can truly think and understand is increasingly important. If John can convince the woman he understands Chinese without actually knowing it, then his responses alone do not prove real intelligence or understanding. Similarly, if a computer can follow rules well enough to mimic understanding, that doesn't mean it genuinely understands. This challenges 2 philosophical views: functionalism, which says mental states are defined by their functions rather than their physical makeup, and computationalism, which sees the mind as an information processor and consciousness as computation. According to the Chinese room, true intelligence requires understanding, something a digital computer lacks. But what exactly is understanding? John either understands Chinese or he doesn't. But can he understand the process of using the symbols? Without knowing the language, does knowing he's sending and receiving messages in Chinese count as understanding? What level of understanding does a system need to be truly intelligent? Must it be complete understanding, or is partial enough? How do we measure or prove this? After all, do humans fully grasp the meaning of what they say, even when they understand it? If John's door opened and the woman saw him showing emotion and effort as he wrote from the books, understanding not the language but the importance of the exchange, would this change her opinion? Would she still see him as intelligent and worthy of love? Similarly, if a machine acted as if it understood, claimed it felt emotions, and followed its programming, would we believe it? How should we treat such machines, and what ethical questions arise? Moving to the next room, there is a woman named Mary. She has been isolated since birth, with no contact except through an intercom. Her room is entirely black and white, and her hair and skin have been altered accordingly. She only receives black and white food and drinks. Her only sources of information are books and papers on color perception, all in black and white. Despite never seeing color, Mary knows everything about it. The physics of light wavelengths, how they stimulate the retina, how these signals activate the brain, and how the brain creates the experience of color. Soon, Mary's door will open, and she will see color for the first time. The experiment asks, will Mary learn anything new from seeing color firsthand? If she already knows all physical facts about color perception, is there something about the direct experience that she doesn't yet understand? This is Mary's room, designed to illustrate the knowledge argument. It claims that there are truths, about conscious experience that can't be captured by physical facts alone. There is something about first-hand experience that goes beyond physical explanation, challenging physicalism, the belief that everything, including mental states, can be explained physically. It seems obvious Mary would learn something new, but if the experience is physical, she should theoretically already know it. If not physical, what is it? Is it the mental state caused by color? But if she knows all about mental states, shouldn't she know how it feels? Perhaps this experiment shows the limits of language and knowledge. Maybe the difficulty isn't an ineffable quality of experience, but that language is too limited to capture it fully. Theoretically, with a more advanced language, it might be possible to describe this experience. Finally, at the end of the hallway, there is you. Your brain floats in a stasis tube filled with nutrients. Wires connected to a machine that stimulates your neurons, creating mental states that simulate your normal experiences. You're not in your body, nor experiencing a real world. Your memories are altered to keep the illusion consistent. Everything you perceive is produced by this machine. This last thought experiment asks, how can you be certain? How do you know the lab, the neuroscientist, or even the hallway aren't illusions? How do you know anything exists outside your mind? Can you be sure your senses aren't deceiving you, that you're awake and not dreaming, or that you're not in a simulation? The only certainty is that you are somewhere thinking, existing as a conscious being. Because all knowledge and experience occur inside your mind, there is no way to step outside it to verify anything else. These three experiments, the Chinese Room by John Searle, 1980, Mary's Room by Frank Jackson, 1982, and The Brain in A Vat by Gilbert Harman, 1973, inspired by René Descartes' evil demon, highlight the challenge of understanding the mind from within. They show how little we truly know about what makes us who we are, the limits of thought, language and knowledge, and the brain's remarkable effort to explore beyond those limits by experimenting with itself.